Welcome back, folks.
Welcome back to
no,
the...
we're
What
not
are you
doing
doing?
this. We're not doing
Why are
this.
you stepping on me?
We're not doing this. I knew you were going to do No. Let me.
Why are you stepping on me?
It's a free-for-all, apparently. No one's opening, or either both of us open. Do we just
I told you I was going to open.
But I told you I was going to open. That's how this works.
No, I wanted to open.
You opened the second show. I opened the first show. That's how we've always done it.
Well, I liked it, and now I'm going to take over that.
No, you're not. You don't get to just own.
Welcome, everybody, to the FCS Football Podcast, presented by the Believe Podcast Network. I'm Sean Anderson, joined by Joe DeLeone.
I hate you.
There's the official open. Well, my co-host, Joe DeLeone, I know him very well. Not well enough, apparently so, because he thinks Brian Burns' Spider-Man sack celebration is corny, and I've lived with this man for 3 years in college. I probably talked to him, what would you say, Joe, every single day at one point?
Probably, sadly.
Yeah. Somehow, the Spider-Man sack celebration is corny in Joe DeLeone's eyes. I hate to open up the show while I think the intro bet is still happening with such vitriol towards you, but that we had to get it going on that. We have FCS football news. We have the water cooler. We got fat stats. We got a bunch of big games to talk about. We had a huge FCS over FBS update, but Joe DeLeone, hater of Spider-Man, even though he's seen all of the Tom Holland Spider-Man movies, I haven't seen one, but I can respect a good celebration. Joseph, your rationale, please.
I bet you're a bigger fan of Batman by the way that you look with the lighting in your room right now.
This is not video-friendly lighting. I'll say that right now. It's much better during the day.
And put the lamp in front of your desk or something.
Here, hold on.
I will buy you a ring light. No, you're not. Okay, so this is what we do. I give him a hard time before we start recording.
What about...
You have a candle. You're doing.
What about recording by candlelight?
That's actually pretty good. I like
Is that better?
Yeah, that looks good.
All right, let me move my laptop back a little bit.
This is professionalism right here. This is a professional recording setup. The candle with the glaring lights in the background.
You want me to turn the lights in the background off?
I think it would be a lot cooler if you did that. I think you should
let me do that.
Yeah, do that.
I'll be right back.
There's the full body profile of Sean for anybody who's wondering.
All right, how's that look?
Other one off. It's the full body profile. Oh my god.
Hey everybody, you want to talk about FCS football?
You look like an emo kid.
Dude, we're getting into fall now, so I thought maybe we get in the Halloween spirit with the
spicy
FCS football lit by candle in the darkness. I am actually starting to scare myself now, looking at myself in the monitor.
Good. It's either frightening or also like you're trying to seduce our listeners. I don't know which is scarier, though.
Not the latter, preferably.
Sorry to the audio listeners that have absolutely no idea what's going on. If you're curious, go to the YouTube channel, which is NFL Prospects Pod. I'm going to rename that at some point to like a joint account. But hit the subscribe button. You can watch the videos. They're fun. Sean and I just shouted at each other. Sean,
is Ryan going to allow you to do that?
It's my YouTube channel. I was the one who
okay.
I converted an old YouTube channel that I was using to upload Madden videos, and I had 500 subscribers on that. So Ryan can suck it.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So Sean, let's sit down at the water cooler here, grab your cup, and let's discuss. So the first thing
before that,
what? Oh, we got to do the read.
I have the lead. Yeah, that's right. I have the lead. I thought
you effed up. Do the read.
I didn't F up. You effed up.
Do the read.
No.
Do the read. We're 4 minutes in.
We're back and better than ever. All eyes are on the gridiron as teams are back on to start another football season. As always, BetOnline, your number one spot for all pro and college football action this season. With a new updated site and interface, even more odds, props, and contests, BetOnline continues to be the number one source for everything football. Joe, did you place any bets on Sunday Night Football?
You can
of course not. Why would you? I did. I was a big old winner. Shocker to the audience. Sean, getting a big old win. Staffy for 300 yards and a Rams win. How you feeling?
Betting's not legal in California, so just keep going.
Nice. That's great for all the listeners.
Yeah, it is.
Head to the website or use your mobile device to sign up today to receive your 100% welcome bonus. That's double your initial deposit just for signing up. Don't forget to use promo code NFL100. That's NFL, the number 1, the number 0, the number 0. BetOnline, the fastest and easiest way to bet all your favorite sports. BetOnline, your online sportsbook experts.
All right. Thank you for that, Sean. Go to Bet Online, folks. Make sure you do that. So, Sean, now let's get to the water cooler. Let's plop on down. Let's get some cups.
Can I get some needles and yarn to get my sails back up and running after you slashed them and took all the air out of them?
I did no such thing. I have never derailed or or took the air out of your sails once while doing this podcast.
Duct tape might work.
Duct tape's going to be more efficient. Shauna, first thing at the water cooler here that is important to hit on. Duquesne with one of our FCS upsets. FCS upset number 7 over Ohio. I'm not doing the bit. What's the bit?
No, you should have been. Hey, Sean, you hear about Duquesne? Be like, what do you mean about Duquesne? You know, I hear they're okay. Well, Sean, you hear they upset Ohio? Yeah. Wait.
Did you also hear
we
that
played Ohio? They beat the brakes off of us.
Our former teammate Darius Parentes was the starting quarterback for Duquesne. Did you hear about that one?
Dude, I can't believe, he went over there and we didn't know what was going to happen. I knew he had a lot of talent when he was with us. And then Duquesne decided, I guess he is leading that crew and he did a damn good job then, huh?
Yeah, no, apparently he did. Since you took the first one, I'm gonna take the second one and then you can take the third one. Sean, did you also happen to notice that our good friends at Presbeteryian, the Blue Hose, they have a disturbing attraction to just destroying Division II teams. So last week we talked about Ren Heffley throwing for 10 touchdowns. This week they played, according to Google, to be determined. 68-3. So you know that this is a reputable and talented university that they play. I think it was Fort Lauderdale, but I don't care. I'm more interested.
It was Fort Lauderdale.
I'm more interested in them playing to be determined and beating them 68-3.
Well, that TBD, man, they had their run in the 90s, but now I don't know what's happened to them. I think their coach retired. You got a coach that wins 600 games at TBD University, and then who's going to fill those shoes? Sometimes it takes a little time.
I don't even think I'm pretty sure Fort Lauderdale or TBD is. I don't even think they're an NCAA institution. I'm pretty sure.
Well, Joe, also your alma mater and also mine. I'm also trying to get some. I'm trying to get a specialist jersey from CJ. I'm trying to get him to send me one, but that's just between you and me.
Why?
I don't know. The green jersey looks nice.
Oh. I thought you wanted his jersey. I wouldn't want CJ's jersey.
No, I don't care about CJ's jersey.
I'm going to see if I can get one
just a green
you.
specialist jersey. What?
I'm going to text Donato. I'm going to get Donato to send me one. Continue.
Well, Joe, your school and my school, Rhode Island, they are in the top 25 after beating Albany. It was a very tight-knit game. I remember I was at work and I had the alerts on and I was desperately tracking that game. I had the Rhodey Football tweet notifications on, and you could turn tweet notifications on for me and Joe. I'm at Sanderson Radio on Twitter, and Joe is at Joe DeLeone. I think Colin Sutrick took his tweet notifications off of us, Joe, because it used to be send out a tweet and then you get a GIF in response. Weird bit, but it was definitely a bit, and we could tell you had notifications on. Well, with the Rhode Island game, I had notifications on. The tweeting, if it's who I think was tweeting, love that man with all my heart. A little odd for just someone looking from the outside in.
It mentally was straining our good friend Shane. Well, it was just such a tight game, and he even tweeted about it. He even said, "Like, man, this game is a roller coaster."
Sorry, I had
to go ahead. Continue.
Some of my water. But yeah,
water.
Top 20. Hey. Why don't you stop airing people out? I'm going to tell them all how much you make. I'm going to tell all the listeners.
I make less than you.
I'll tell them the exact number.
I'll tell you my credit card debt at the moment that I can't afford to pay.
Hey, send me here. Just while we're on, just send me a text with that number.
Okay. Let me
all right. I just want to give.
By the way, Donato
reaction.
told me he's going to get me one. By the way, he's actually more reliable than CJ.
Just freaking nonsense. Oh, here comes the 3 ball. Oh,
I can't afford to pay that. I'm just going to say that much.
For what?
What do you mean? Just living and going out to dinner. I don't know. There's other things that we can discuss off the show. It's a separate issue. Not a good number.
All right. Well, maybe you grab something out of the fridge here for dinner then. If we're sitting here at the water cooler, just steal someone's meal.
I'm stealing your lunch. Regardless, Rhody Rams get the dub, and they're ranked in the top 25 in the stats poll. They would have been ranked much sooner if we were voting on it, though. I will say that much.
I don't know. I'm not a homer.
I'm a homer. Sean, did you also hear about Southeastern Louisiana?
Oh, no, I didn't, Joe. Please tell me.
CELA, as some people like to call it. Cole Kelly and the boys went over to play La Tech, smacked them around, almost pulled out the upset, 45-42. That is a great game. I got to say here, and this might be a hot take, people don't realize that the top-level FCS programs are not that far off from the Group of 5 programs. I said it.
Oh, yeah.
It's pretty simple. It's not that much of a shocker.
It's so far through 2 weeks. 2 weeks. It's the year of the upset and the year of the, oh my God, is this going to happen to us year? That's what it is. And that was my impression of an FBS fan or player or coach or administrator. But La Tech, as Joe called it, being Louisiana Tech.
La Tech.
Okay. And then, Joe, we're going to have a couple more people over here at the water cooler. Maybe not on this specific water cooler, but within the company. Imbibing on some good H2O. Walk On Radio joining Believe, and I believe you helped set up that, not deal, but acquisition?
I don't know. I don't know if I'd call it an acquisition, but yeah, I fully facilitated that. I reached out to him, and I orchestrated that whole thing, and jokingly, I was talking to Braun, and I somehow took the role of talent manager for about 3 weeks, basically, because I handled all of this. Contracts, everything.
Because I do not feel like I've been managed well over the last 3 weeks.
Well, that's because you don't have any talent. No, but the guys that Walk On Radio, right, Dalton Mayer, Ryan Humphreys, Sam Houston State football players, absolutely fantastic content that they put out. And now that the NIL stuff is fully available, they were doing exactly what we were doing, which was doing a podcast while they were still in school and getting, improving their chops and stuff. So it provides us the opportunity to bring them on to Believe, and sadly, couldn't give them a Bet Online and a Play Action Pools ad read because of compliance over at Sam Houston State. But I did.
Those are for the elite boys.
Those are for the washed up boys.
What are they sitting with over there?
What do you mean? What are they sitting with?
Like what do they have? Like,
well, I'm going to get them
read wise.
They don't have any reads yet because they just started. So we don't. All of our reads right now are betting related. So we're just going to wait to get them something soon. But we're excited to help them grow, and they've been doing a fantastic job. We're also going to be. I won't announce who, but we're supposed to be getting a Montana Grizz podcast coming soon. Former NFL player who played for the Grizz.
Is it Samuel Occam? I'll lose my mind.
It's not Sam Occam.
Damn it. It's don't want him then.
It's Jimmy Wilson. He's a former Dolphins player. So that's a good one to keep an eye out for. I'm sure we'll get him on the show, and we'll also is that it is him. We'll get him on the show. We'll also get to have the Walk On Radio guys on the show as well.
Can we get ED back on the show?
Yeah,
we should have had him on this show for the Jacksonville State game.
We probably should have
facilitated that. That's on me. I should have facilitated.
All I have is
maybe next week. Maybe next week.
You should have facilitated it. I'm a producer
that's my guy.
at the company. No, it's your guy. You talk to him all the time. You talk to him often.
It's Friday, fool.
Oh God, Edie's one of my favorite hosts with the network. So Sean,
talk about a guy you need to have your tweet notifications on. Free plug. Eric Davis. Follow him on Twitter.
One of the most entertaining people.
He's awesome.
Speaking of Jacksonville State, though, favorite transition there, folks. If you happen to see it, this is the game that we've got to talk about here today. I think this is going to be the main talking point here is what Jacksonville State did against Florida State. They pulled off a fantastic upset against a program that is seriously down in the dumps. This Florida State team is absolute garbage. They're terrible. Mackenzie Milton is not a good quarterback. And they took advantage of an opportunity where a team comes off a close
they took
game.
Notre Dame to the grips of death.
Notre Dame's terrible. Notre Dame could barely.
That's all I wanted to hear. That's all I wanted to hear.
They're not good this year. Jack Cohn sucks. This Florida State team was in a position to just kind of ride some momentum and build off of a game that they had against Notre Dame that was super close and just get a win, as I think most people anticipated. But instead, it was one of those instances where Florida State just assumed it was going to be a walkover game, and Jacksonville, Zarek Cooper and the gang, without Trey Berry, came out swinging kept it close throughout the entirety of it. This was, along with the roadie game, I was checking the score religiously to then see the final play of the game. So like, it's not even worth going through the entirety of the game here because it was close throughout most of it. But the final touchdown play, a heave by Zarek Cooper, and then an absolute fantastic effort by multiple Jacksonville State receivers, not just the guy who caught it, to be fully active downfield to elude tacklers, to open up blocks and lanes for a touchdown that sealed the game on the final play. Absolutely fantastic stuff.
Yeah, I got no beef with Florida State. I never really did. They were always like when they won the national championship with Jameis Winston and Kelvin Benjamin. Mm-hmm. I was fine with it. I had no problem with it. I don't think they'd ever done anything that made me think, oh, I don't like that program. Not like, signing an NBC deal for like 20 years and not joining a conference and playing independently.
Sticking their games
but
on
that's neither here nor there, but I'm not going to name any schools or name any names. Florida State, I've never had a beef with. Also because they get their post game up relatively quickly for football and basketball, which is a big deal for me and my other job. But Jacksonville State, man, it's just I don't know. Well, that bottle's gone, so I can't ding that.
What did you do?
I
with
don't
the
have
bottle?
a bell with me. Oh, well, it's sitting downstairs.
Oh,
the bottle might be making a bit of a higher pitch now than it once was.
Nice.
If you get my drift.
Yes, you're an alcoholic.
It's half drank. Whoa, now, hey.
Do you want me to go get my big bottle of Tito's? We can use that as the bell.
I'll let you go get a bell. I think that this deserves a bell.
I don't feel like getting up.
What? Why would you offer?
I was just throwing that out there. I was hoping you'd say no.
You can't throw it out there and not. I'm in favor of the bell.
Fine.
Go get it. I'll vamp. Golly. You offer something up and you think that they're not going to take it. It's a relationship thing. It's Joe's been in a relationship for a couple months and he's trying to treat me the same way that he might treat his girlfriend, where it's a half-assed offer to go to the movies, hoping that the person doesn't want to do it. But in reality, when Joe has an idea of content or possibly doing something fun for the show, I want to be a part of it.
This is
I'm not going to be
right
like his girlfriend and just say no and just give him his way. I'm going to say, yeah, if you offered it, I'm going to take it. Sorry, this is a conversation with me and the listeners here.
That's not very good.
Get it all up on the mic there, buddy.
It's frozen.
That's no problem. Get it all up on the mic.
Does that satisfy you?
There we go. There's a little bell. There's a little bell for Jacksonville State.
Okay, continue.
I mean, Joe, the despair from the radio broadcast from Florida State. I believe you hear the call. The play-by-play gentleman continues and completes the call like a professional would. The color commentator gives a good yell. And then if you're not in the radio industry, you might not have picked up on this. But there was a faint slam of headphones. And then you could also hear a faint walk away and mutter, which is just fantastic. You don't get to hear on-air rage quits like that. Especially in that fashion. You hear the groans and the moans and the, I can't believe this happened. How could this happen? You even hear, true anger about the situation. But to hear that, what I can only assume, and Joe, I think you can corroborate this with me, was the headphones on the table and then the walk away.
Corroborate. Yeah, I tweeted that out, and my man, I don't know who it was, the color commentator, literally rage quit the broadcast. I've never seen such a thing. Where
I don't care if it was upset non-FCS. That should be mentioned regardless.
That is absolutely hilarious. And I think that is the epitomization of Florida State fans right now, that they're just like, what the hell? What the actual F? Like, that's the only way to summarize things for Florida State fans, because Jacksonville State is a team that we know is gritty and are going to fight in a situation like this. So props to them. I got to say, the freaking flag plant is the most badass thing that we're going to see from an FCS team this year. I was so juiced up when I saw that, because they have no beef with Florida State.
One bit.
To be that mad and that juiced up after a victory, to instantly disrespect a ACC team.
You know how it is when you play those FBS schools and you're an FCS player. All the trash talk isn't, "Oh, bro, I'm gonna whoop you." It's, I don't even know I'm out on the field right now against you, because FBS players, to pull the curtain back when they're playing an FCS team, the trash talk's different. It's we're paying to play y'all, or they're saying we're literally taking you lightly, or you don't belong on the same field as me. Like, it's that kind of talk, and that
Right.
for whatever reason FBS players haven't learned yet. Maybe you shouldn't do that if you're not that good of a team, because when you lose and you get the flag planted in the middle of the field and you got Dum Dum proposing to his girlfriend on the sideline in the back of the end zone. But I know he had that thing planned. I know it was planned and you had to do it now or never, which is fine. And I don't want to spend all time on it, but
I would like to talk about that. That was a joke, because
unfortunate.
And friend
it's
of
just
the
unfortunate.
member of the network, Jason Brown, I think summarized it perfectly. That was this is how you know it's a loser program. You have a loser team. That is more important than the fact that you just lost to a team that you were supposedly supposed to easily beat. That's a loser mentality. Look, good for you, dude. You got married. You could have done that any other time. That's why I don't support the people that are out here saying like, oh, some things are more important than football. Don't do it after you just lost. Go do it in a different setting. That is a joke that this dude did it, and he tweeted about it. But loser, total loser.
Oh, wow. Interesting.
I hated it. It was so fine. It was lame.
Joe, with the flag planting stuff, yeah. I don't. Mario Cristobal had a soundbite. I don't know if you heard it after they upset Ohio State. Did you see that, Joe? Well, basically, they were walking up the field, and obviously, Oregon was still. I know we're an FCS podcast, but it does coincide with what we're talking about with the Jacksonville State big celebration over Florida State.
Proper word usage. Continue.
Am I okay? You said supposedly, so I don't want to hear it from you. Keep wearing the same hat every single show.
You said
keep
corroborate.
Corroborate. I straight up, that one actually gets me a little bit. That's one that I cannot always get. That's one of my struggle words, and I'm pretty good with my words. You got to admit that, and that's a struggle word for me.
What's your Mario Cristobal point?
My Mario Cristobal point is, as Oregon was celebrating, he was walking past the middle field logo. He said to either his coaches or whoever is monitoring the celebration, nothing on the 50, nothing on the logo. You respect your opponent. And I'm like, oh, that's interesting to make a statement like that as they're walking off, as they upset Ohio State.
Right.
I mean, it's a 12-5 upset opposed to an FCS to FBS ACC upset.
Right.
So I think Jacksonville State was warranted, because we know what those trashings are like when you're on the field, just having them in your ear the entire game. And that's a generalization, but it happened enough over the 4 teams that we played, right, Joe? That was the talk that happened.
Yeah, and I don't think I endured it as much, but I definitely had a fair share of comments when I jogged out onto the field and waddled down in punt coverage.
I agree with the term waddled.
No, last thing I want to
State though.
Yeah, last thing I just want to say, teams got to stop sleeping on these FCS programs. These FCS teams are way better than they typically are. They are coming for the necks of these group of 5 teams. They are going to continue to catch teams off guard. I'm calling it now. We're going to get at least one a week. As long as there is a matchup scheduled, we will get one a week. I'm calling it now.
Okay, everybody, for FC estimates, we're not going to be able to predict that. I don't think we can do that, because we've been good at not jinxing teams. So I think we're going to continue that trend.
Okay, all right. Sean, before we get to fat stats, I just need to remind our listeners about Play Action Pools. Hey, Sean, did you sign up for Play Action Pools?
You know it.
You didn't sign up for it. I came in.
You can never do a radio bit. You can never just. You stink. Your instincts, not great. My instincts for not signing up yet after hearing all the offers and all the great promotions.
Go sign up right now while I'm doing
terrible.
It. Go sign up right now.
I'll do it right now.
Play Action Pools. First of all, I was in a meeting earlier today, and we were talking about it, and it was mentioned like, oh, someone already won the DC shoes and the electric sunglasses. And so I pulled it up in the meeting, and I'm like, wait, I can't even see where I finished in the scoring. And then I'm like, oh, wait a minute, I came in last. I got 2 points out of the possible 10.
Sounds about right.
Well, it's what I get when I picked USC and the Falcons. So that put
Why
me
would
there.
you pick Atlanta?
Because I'm a clown. Because I thought the Eagles were a bad football team, but it turns out the Falcons are worse. But
they're
folks,
awful.
If you're confused on what I'm talking about, Play Action Pools, we're doing a deal here, I believe, for the whole football season, where it's an interactive contest. You'll be able to get in on the action with our PlayActionPools.com Football Pick'em Challenge, which is open to anybody. You don't have to pay or anything. You can just join and sign up. Sign up for our contest, Believe Football Pick'em at playactionpools.com, and then get your picks in each week. We're going to select the 10 highest profile games of the week between NFL and college football. Whoever gets the most picks correct each week will win a pair of electric sunglasses and a pair of DC shoes. Again, go to playactionpools.com and sign up for the contest Believe, BLEAV, Football Pick'em. And if you plan on hosting your own, football contest, go to playactionpools.com today. They've got Survivor, Pick'em, as well as a cool sportsbook style concept called Build Your Own Bankroll. Playactionpools.com, your new home for all of your office sports pools. And you can compete with me and probably pretty easily beat me as well. Sean, did you sign up?
Signing up now. I had to look through my email.
Yeah, okay. Sean,
What?
can we...
What's going on?
Nothing.
What it is?
Let's pretend you didn't
Okay.
just send me something very graphic. Sean, let's get the fat stats to wrap up the show.
I thought you were going to be done with the read. It was like a 2-minute read.
No, it wasn't. Okay. Fat stats. Sean, give us our first one. I want to do the second one. The second one's funny. Do the first one.
I cannot believe you're taking the fun one. And they're all fun because it's fat stats.
You wrote
Who doesn't love to get
wrote
fat?
Them down, so I get to pick the one that I want. That's usually how you
That's
would
how
do
it works? Okay. Awesome.
Yeah.
That's how it works. Off the road. Yeah, that's what you get when you
Sean had to do the notes one time, and you think you run the show.
I'm also recording at 9 p.m. Eastern.
So
first fat stat,
Prime time, baby.
JMU. First fat stat, JMU wide receiver Antoine Wells Jr., 8 receptions, 179 yards, and 2 touchdowns. That's worthy of fat stat. His long reception, I believe, was 73 yards, so that took up about a chunk of it. Still, enough receptions to yardage and 2 touchdowns definitely incorporates him into the fat stat category. Go get fat on him.
Go get fat on him. This one's fantastic.
I didn't know how that tagline was going to go.
I don't know. Maybe that should be the tagline. Get fat on them. You should make a sounder with all the time that you have in your schedule.
Yeah, okay.
I don't know how you found this one. This one's fantastic. Presbyterian had 17 different players with a rushing attempt. I don't know how you have 17 players to give that many rushing attempts to. That means you probably went down to your 4th quarterback. That probably means you went down to your 6th running back. You probably handed the ball off to some offensive lineman that wanted to score some touchdowns. The kicker probably got a carry in there as well. Stop playing NAIA schools, please. I don't want to see stat lines like this, even though it's funny as hell.
17 is an absurd amount because that means that there had to be 3 quarterbacks, 6 running backs, and
I'm
wide
checking
receiver.
now.
It doesn't make sense. Are tight ends getting carries?
I don't know.
It doesn't make sense to have 17. That is incredibly fat. My account has not yet been verified. Please validate your email address to be able to make sure the picks and access all the features on the platform the validation email was sent to. That's my email. Okay, cool. I got to validate that. I'll do that after this recording for Play Action Pools.
Thanks.
Third fat stat on the docket. Abilene Christian, I think it's their first time getting mentioned on the show. Their quarterback, Stone Early, or Early, I believe it's Early, 233 yards. You're like, oh, Sean, what's so fat about that? 233 yards. That seems pretty good, but still a little bit run-of-the-mill. 6 touchdowns. That's fat. 6 touchdowns passing is
fantastic.
fat. You can't tell me otherwise. It's a fat stat. That is fat. Get fat on him.
So, Sean, as it turns out,
Stop
linebacker
staying
Jalen
silent
Dubose.
after I do that.
No. So,
Your
as it turns
silence
out,
hurts.
Sean, linebacker Jalen Dubose had a carry for -6 yards, and then our good friend defensive tackle Greg Sanders also got a carry. Multiple linebackers got carries in this game. The sheer disrespect. Because that means, I don't mean to keep running, we're going to end the show after this. That means he came to the sideline and said, who wants a carry? Who wants the football? Who wants to get a touchdown?
That's exactly what it was. Review rules, contest rules.
Thanks. All right, folks. Thanks for tuning in. Hit the subscribe button.
Anderson.
Follow us on Twitter at Joe DeLeone, at Sanderson Radio. We'll talk to you soon. We're going to be coming at you soon with more fantastic content later on in the week. Later, folks. Go FCS.